Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week this is for August 2023. We're just going to jump right in here. You have this patience card. It says, it will require having faith while you're shown the way. The universe will give you what your soul needs at the perfect time. You have this entertainer card. It says, your charm and influence will help you get ahead. Yes, I also feel this is saying it's time for you to get out into the world with that influencer card. So, or the entertainer card, so that you can gain influence. So a lot of you, there's like something, I always get this feeling for you, Taurus, where it's like there's something that you need to display to the world, or, that's like the best way I could describe it. Sometimes it could be anything. It could just be getting a job that you are actually qualified for, as in, like, maybe you just have some random job that has nothing to do with anything, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's like if you have a skill that you're not using, I kind of feel there could be some benefits to using a skill that you have that you're not using. Obviously, if you are using your skills, then that part of the message isn't for you. But, I do feel that there could be some opportunities for you, especially if you like went to school for something and you're not, and you don't like have a job based off of what you went to school for or whatever, there could be some new opportunity. Here you go, right here, something that's going to make you very happy, it looks like, that probably uses like a talent, gift, skill, or ability in your life. You get the, I kid you not, every single time I use this deck, by the way, whatever this one is, the Animal Oracle, you get this card, this Spider Spirit. I'm always saying that you have to like tell the story that you want, right? So I say that to you like every single time that I use this deck with you, and you always get that card. That's crazy. But again, I definitely feel it's time for you to kind of like tell the story that you want to hear, whatever. This last row is actually the good stuff, so it's going to be good no matter what. So, don't worry about the Devil and the Ten of Swords. But you have the Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Emperor in this first row here. Definitely time to get started. Everybody gets this right now because I think it's time to get started. It's like we're all kind of like waiting for something to happen that isn't going to happen. I've been saying this since like 2020. It's like everybody is just, there's this energy of waiting. I don't even think most of us know what we are waiting for before we get started, but the time is like now. So this is a major collective energy. It's probably, it's why I talk about it so much. And, it comes up in the cards right here. People always say like you repeat yourself. I'm like, I don't repeat myself. The cards repeat themselves right here. It's like, I'm not, don't shoot the messenger, right? So again, it is what it is. It's like the major energy that we're all dealing with. I mean, I could sit here and, tell you like, oh, your boyfriend's cheating on you with your mom, like all the other readers do, right? But, which is fine. No judgments here, right? They should be able to do what they want. And if you're into that, go watch them, right? but that's not what I'm into. And I would say that's not really what's coming up here. So, what I would say is it's time to get started. You have some knowledge. You have some wisdom that needs to be expressed in the world. He needs to plant his knowledge and wisdom right here in these fields behind him so that he can be more successful. Because when he does it, he's actually showing a skill. I really get, it's like you and Pisces, by the way, for whatever reason, you two, it's like I really get this sense of like judgment, as in, there's something you want to do, with your life, but, you could be looking at it and judging it before it happens. Like you could be saying, oh, this won't be well received by the world or, by people in my life or whatever. But actually, what's going to happen is it's going to be way more well received than you could ever imagine. I also think that if you're comparing yourself, I'm pretty sure I said this to you in the bonus readings that I just did, like the 5 tips for how to improve your life between now and the end of the year, right? I'm pretty sure I said, like, if you're comparing yourself to other people, you could be saying, like, oh, other people have tried what I'm thinking and it doesn't work very well. But, really, actually, maybe it's meant to work for you and that's it. So, I feel there's something that you need to try here or do. For some of you, it could be business, but it doesn't even have to be. It could just be something you do with your life in general. You have the Queen of Cups. Yep. I mean, every single reading I do for you, Queen of Cups, right? Again, you have to follow your heart more than any other sign, Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is about freedom. And if, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, if you follow your heart with Uranus and Taurus, you will be very successful. So, anything you can do to bring more heart into your life, more things that you love, more things that you enjoy into your life. These could be hobbies, things you spend your time on, your career, could be people that are in your life, whatever, pretty much everything. The more you do that, the more successful you will be. You have the Emperor here, definitely a boss type feeling I get here. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing to you again in those bonus readings that I just did. I'm pretty sure that I said the same thing. It's almost like you're stepping into this more boss energy. I really feel this is you. I know this is Aries, yes, I understand that, but I feel this is you. It's almost like I get this, rebirth vibe. He's holding this Ankh right here, or kind of looks like an Ankh, right? And which represents rebirth. And I get this feeling of you having some sort of rebirth. I'm not saying your life is going to get easier either, but I kind of, this right here is very interesting to me. The Seven of Swords, of course, could, again, represent, your boyfriend cheating on you with your mom, right? As I said at the beginning of the reading. But it can also represent tactics. It's a card of, doing things tactically. And then you have the Ten of Wands, which says, like, the way you're doing things right now is too hard. And there could be an easier way to do things. So, I feel you need to, like, look for better ways of doing things. I say it in every single reading. We are in a time of leverage, right? Where we really need to look at, like, ways that we can leverage our time, or ways that we can, get more for the work that we do. This goes, but it doesn't even have to just be work. Like, if you're working on your health, are there ways where you could spend, are there things that move bigger levers or whatever in your health? Like, are there better ways to improve your health? Are there certain, like, I see people running. I go for a walk every single day. I see people running and they look like they're about to shit their pants most of the time, right? And half of them look like they're about to drop dead. I'm like, isn't there like a better way to like lose weight or, stay healthy or whatever, that so you don't have to look like this, right? On the side of the road? Probably. So, again, are there like better ways to do the things? If you love running, run. But I'm just saying, if you don't, or, if you're trying to improve something else, is there a better way to do what you want to do? That gets the same effect or better? Probably. I would look for it. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups. Wouldn't surprise me, if you had an earth sign kind of all up in your business. You earth signs keep showing up in each other's readings, so there definitely could be a Capricorn. It could be an Aries, Gemini, Capricorn, whatever. It could be an earth sign, or a water sign as well. So I just listed off all 12 signs basically, but it could be an earth sign. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Fool. Yes, I mean, definitely time to take a leap of faith towards your heart. If your heart is telling you to do something, I would go and do it, plain and simple. With the Emperor, you have the Nine of Cups. This is what I'm trying to get everybody to do right here, is to be in this energy as much as possible. The Nine of Cups is total fulfillment, but the Nine of Cups is about bathing in an energy of what you want your life to look like, and even if you don't have the things that you want. So it's like, if you want love, take yourself on a date. Go do things that people who are in love do, right? And when you do that, then the universe will bring you love. Same thing with money. It's like, go do things that people with money do, or act like a person who has money. It sounds ridiculous, but I don't know. I've seen this stuff work in my own life where I just act like I have something, act as if, right? And it works. So, that's what I'll say here is like, there's definitely, I feel like stepping into that act as if energy could be a very, very beneficial for you, especially with that Nine of Cups. I'm pretty sure I've been saying to you that you need to like work on money blocks. Every single reading, there's something that comes up right here having to do with your values. And again, this is, I want to stress, this is not like intuitive, right? Well, part of it is kind of like intuitive, but really, if I look at your astrology, it's very obvious to me that everything has to do with your values right now. So, again, if you want to work with the energy and you want to get the benefits, then I would be working on your value, like things that you say are valuable to you, or, how can you get more value from the things you're working on? Like I said, anything you put energy into, relationships, business, health, whatever. But also like money blocks or abundance blocks or whatever. It's like, are there things you can do to overcome those issues? Because again, now's the time where you want to work on this, because again, you have like a couple more years of Uranus and Taurus, which is all about freedom for you. As I always say, you have Jupiter there right now. I would start right now with Jupiter there. You have festive times. Next, we're going to look at what you need to hear right now. And it says, finding joy in life again. You were born for this. There you go. It says, when you stop time, you'll decide to walk away. You know better. So again, some of you could be walking away from a toxic person. You have the Seven of Swords, the Devil, the Ten of Swords here. I would say that you've already done this, just judging by how this reading is set up, but maybe you're not fully disconnected with that Knight of Pentacles. It's like Knight of Pentacles, he's kind of like threatening a new beginning, you know what I mean? He's kind of like, he's only that knight that isn't making a move. So it's like some of you have probably disconnected from a person, but maybe you still have those thoughts like, oh, I want to talk to them, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know, I feel like you're kind of walking away from something. I also feel like the universe, like again, with this festive times card, I feel like the universe wants us to be happy and abundant and to celebrate, but we have to create more of that energy first before we can be in it. And it says you were born for this, so I would get moving. You have the Six of Swords, the the Seven of Swords and the Lovers. See, this right here is the fear of being left out in the cold. This is the fear of, if I make a change, then I will be left out in the cold right here. So I feel that some of you, it's very obvious to me that this is saying you need to not fear a change. You need to kind of embrace some sort of change. This woman and the child in this boat, they are leaving everything behind them behind. They are completely moving across those choppy waters with nothing but the clothing on their back. So, the Six of Swords, I always say, is a pretty intense energy, really. They're not bringing any, they're hoping that they get to the other side, and they are hoping that it's an improvement. They don't know. And they're being guided by this guy right here. He represents a guide. He goes back and forth between the choppy waters. So he kind of, he knows that it's better on the other side, right? And I feel for a lot of you, it's like your guides, your ancestors are trying to guide you away from something at this time, and they're trying to guide you towards something that's going to be much better. For most of you, it's what I said at the beginning of the reading. It's like you have this idea of something maybe you want to express into the world, like a project, a business, could be a YouTube channel or something like that. And I feel like you're judging it. Or something, like I said at the beginning of the reading, and I feel your guides are like, come on, let's go. You have the Seven of Swords. This is a card of tactics, right? So it can represent lying, cheating, stealing. I definitely feel some of you have dealt with a person who put you in a third party, but again, I feel like you see this as dead, done, over with, so it's not even worth mentioning. You have the Ten of Swords here, which says you're done with it. So for the rest of you, I feel like you need more fun. He has these polka dots on his cloak. Polka dots in the tarot represent taking things too seriously and needing to have more fun in life. So I feel like you need to realize that whatever it is that you do can be fun, and it can be play. It can be, I really feel we're in a time where we have to turn work into play, basically. We're in a time, there's so many great teachers nowadays that, say we're entering into this time where we have to move towards our passions. And I totally believe this. I've been saying it since 2016. So, I think we need to, it's not necessarily that we have to have a passion-based business. It's more that we have to have more passion in our lives. So, if that means finding time to, express yourself through some sort of hobby or through a creative pursuit or whatever, it's like the world needs more of that right now. And I feel like that's what all your readings basically say. You have the Lovers here. I do feel like there's new love coming in for you right here. It's kind of interesting. If you're attracting new love, I feel like you see this person as a player, but they're not. So again, I would say trust the evidence. I think in love, I say this to every sign again, that we really need to trust the evidence right now. And not what we think, right? Again, that doesn't mean you shouldn't trust your thoughts either. It just means that, again, if someone shows you that they're a player, then yes, absolutely they're a player. But if you think someone's a player, but they're always, they don't do anything to prove that they're a player, then they're probably not a player, right? So you have to you really have to trust the evidence. And of course, it's more complicated than that. But I'm just saying, if you think they're a player, but they're always home and they're always working on their business, they're probably not a player, right? They probably don't even have time to be a player. So, again, I feel like this is saying, don't judge someone too quickly. There's something about judgment in this reading here, Taurus. And sorry, I can't even get this deck to shuffle. So that's kind of weird, but let's see. With the Six of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. Definitely healing going on for you here, this direction. Something toxic was removed from your life. This has already happened. I feel like you're healing from it. You're moving on from it, processing it. Makes a lot of sense with this Venus retrograde that we have going on as well. This Venus retrograde in particular has an element of toxicity. That does not mean anyone you meet will be toxic. It just means that you could be healing things, toxic things that you've been through in the past, basically. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles, juggling. I definitely feel this way here. You could have dealt with juggling in the past, and that could be making you hesitate. But again, I would just be more direct if you're meeting a new person. With the Lovers, you have the Magician. Yes, you attracted this into your life. I feel like you're getting someone that you've attracted. Or, if you want love, you have attracted a person into your life. For all of you as well, I feel like you've also attracted a new opportunity, to express yourself, like I've been saying this whole time. I feel like there's something that you're expressing. The Lovers can be being at a crossroads. The Magician is kind of using your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities to express yourself into the world. And that's what this looks like to me here, Taurus. Next, you have this card that says you have... are you kidding? You have this card. It says you have special gifts. Never surrender to normal. There you go. Everything I've been saying. Travel as much as you can. This will add dimension to your life. Yes, some of you could be traveling. I do feel like travel is a good idea for you right now if you want to. We do have a Mercury retrograde at the end of the month. I don't know. I've traveled a million times during Mercury retrograde. It's like, do things happen? Yes. Is it ever that big of a deal? No. So, I don't really worry. I never really worry about it. Knock on wood, right? I never really worry about traveling during Mercury retrograde. I just know that maybe there will be delays. Maybe there will be, things that happen. Maybe there will be, things that pop up and, all this other stuff. It's like, you just never, you never really know. And it's like, the other thing that I think people need to realize about these retrogrades is like, it really depends on where it's falling in your chart. So it's like, if it's traveling in a travel house, like your ninth house or something, for example, then sure. Maybe it will affect travel, right? But if it's falling somewhere else, like, your fifth house, or well, actually that was a terrible example, but let's say like your eighth house, it might not really affect travel for you. It might not be that big of a deal. So, again, I wouldn't like worry about it. And plus, the retrograde's on the 23rd at the end of the month, so it might not be that big of a deal, but it doesn't matter. I feel like some of you could travel in your mind as well. You have the Ten of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. This is coming up in the area of the unexpected. I actually do feel there could be a very passionate connection coming in for you. The funny thing is I feel like saying not this month. For some of you, it probably will be this month. General reading. I don't trust psychic timing at all. I always say the universe doesn't wear a watch, so things happen when they happen, but I kind of feel this could be coming in like actually over the fall period of time. So whenever fall starts until the end of fall, whatever, next 3 months or something like that. But I feel like it's going to surprise you. So again, if you are looking for love and you do meet a person, I just feel that how well it goes is what is surprising, and how much passion there will be kind of surprises you. Again, the Ace of Wands is all about doing things that you're passionate about. This whole entire reading has been about doing things that you're passionate about, bringing more joy, happiness, things like that into your life. You have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, really important that we don't call attention to our weaknesses at this time. The Five of Pentacles, there's just a lot of astrology, I believe, that kind of maybe is making people think like, oh, I can't do this project because, of X, Y, and Z, because of my old story. Your job is to completely ignore your old story and to create a new story right here with this card, every single reading I do for you. So, I wouldn't even worry about like, what happened years ago, or who said what to you years ago, or who called you what name, or any of that stuff. Like, that's in the past. I feel it's time to, release those burdens. Some of you are clearly processing something as well. It's like you could be processing something that was toxic. It could be a toxic relationship, but it might not be a love relationship. It could be a family relationship or something like that, that you are processing through at this time. Because again, Venus retrograde is love, but it could be people that you loved. It could be like family, friends, whatever. And it's like you're processing this stuff so you can release it so that you can change your story, which is kind of like what this reading is saying to me here, Taurus. Let's see. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Four of Wands, so you can set yourself free. Every single reading is about freedom for you. Again, your readings it's kind of funny because your readings are always like so much more deep than everyone else. It's like your readings are never, I don't look at your readings as ever being like about just love, or, about money, or just money. It's like a much deeper, thing going on here. And the Four of Wands could be marriage, but, really the Four of Wands is a card of freedom. And setting yourself free, or kind of doing things to set yourself free. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords, only seeing one way of doing things. Again, I feel you need to realize there's like a million ways to do whatever it is you want to do. So you might be thinking that, you have to do things according to someone else's plan, but, I would do things that you want to do, especially if you're trying to like launch a project. With the Ace of Wands and the Three of Cups, you have the Two of Wands, taking the lead, getting out into the world. Kind of getting to that next chapter. Pretty, it's kind of repeating at this point. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Spider Spirit says, make your dreams real. You have this Flamingo Spirit says, embrace the in-between. I love the Flamingo card. It's like a card of stepping into a much more vibrant energy, right? And the Spider is about the story you tell. It's like the story, the web you weave. And it says, make your dreams real. So I feel like now is the time to, kind of conquer any toxic things, or remove toxic things from your life, or people, or situations, so that you can tell a much better story. And you're like in this in-between time. Again, I feel some of you could have this anticipation energy where it's like you are anticipating change, but it hasn't happened yet. You have the Hangman, the Ten of Cups, and the Devil. So I feel for a lot of you, this is like where I get this anticipation energy. The Hangman, his head is glowing, so he's finally gained enlightenment. I feel it's saying you are finally ready for, you are finally ready for this change, or you're finally ready to make a change. You have the Ten of Swords here. Ten of Swords says something is dead, done, over with. So, I feel for some of you, this is saying something has ended in your life. And, it's coming up in the area of the good stuff. So this could actually represent a blessing in disguise. You have the devil here, again, coming up in the good stuff. So this could say that you are removing certain things that need your energy. One thing I will say is, again, with this Venus retrograde, I think it's true for everyone in the collective. We really need to be don't feel like you have to be nice to people right now. And again, I'm not saying don't be a jerk to people, obviously, but don't feel like you owe people energy. Again, I've been saying to everyone for a couple weeks now that I would be if people are like, oh, can you help me do this? Can you lend me money or whatever? Now would be a good time to say no. Just because, again, I feel like we need to maybe protect our energy a little bit more, or also the energy vampires could be coming out of the woodwork right now, or people who just want to steal our energy or steal our work or whatever. It could be one of those things where it's maybe you start doing well at this time, or over the fall time, even after the retrograde, right? I wouldn't, just because the retrograde ends on September 3rd, doesn't mean I would stop doing this, but it's someone could see you doing well and they're like, oh, they're doing well, so they can just give me money. So they're just asking you money because you're doing well. They're not asking because they actually need it, right? So I would be careful of that type of energy. With the Hangman, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Something you've been waiting for is definitely entering into your life. I feel it could be anything. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups. You have 2 sevens here. 2 sevens to me is internal fears that don't exist. So I do feel it's time for you to release your fears or anything you feel is holding you back. I would try to let that stuff go. With the Devil, you have the Ten of Wands. Yes, you are releasing a heavy burden. I feel like you're releasing something that's been holding you back for a very long period of time. We kind of said that at the beginning of the reading. So definitely love where this is going. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. I actually wasn't going to use this deck, but I am going to use this deck for you. You have this Malady card. I would be careful of your health as well. All the retrogrades are good times to heal yourself, to make sure you're healed, to make sure to take care of yourself. So I would make sure you're taking care of yourself right now. You have this haughtiness card. Yes, we really need to, pretty much everyone, we are in a time of illusions. I mean, I've been saying it since 2016 and earlier, really, because of Neptune and Pisces. We have Neptune and Pisces until 2026, the end of 2025, really. And Neptune and Pisces is, to me, is very deceptive. It is lies, and there could just be a lot of deception, but we have to get good. We have to get good at looking at something and saying this is either real or fake. How? We have to trust the evidence, plain and simple. So, make sure you're seeing things, you're judging things based off their actions, right? You have this Priest card. Here, I don't know. I feel really turned off by this card. All of a sudden. I don't know. You could be meeting a person who really turns you off. And, again, I would trust that energy here. You know what I mean? It's I do feel maybe some of you have a choice in love, or you're going to be meeting 2 people. I feel like one person is just gross. You're just wow, I do not want this. I feel it's almost like a person who looks good on the surface, but they're actually not. And then there's another person. I feel like they both look good, but it's I feel like the other person's much better. I don't know. I feel weird about this. It's you could meet a person who's just freaking weird is what I get here. And I feel weird about that card. There you go. I would trust your feelings. You have this waiting card. Yes, I feel like some of you are waiting for love, or you're waiting for a person to come in. I'm actually going to clarify that. Can we clarify that? And you have this merchant card. It's funny that I said business person about love. You could literally be attracting a businessy person. I have Sagittarius popping into my head as well. So you could be attracting a Sag, a fire sign. It could be a business person or someone who is a merchant, but I feel like it's someone very successful, someone very resourceful that you could be attracting. But it's funny that it's merchant. There's a boat in the background. It's almost like you're waiting for something to return here or whatever. I'm not sure. Weird. You have this love card. Yes, definitely love. For those of you that want love, there's definitely love coming in for you. Be careful of this person, this priest person right here. I would go towards this person here. I don't know, I get a weird feeling off of this. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's it's you could meet a person where it's they look good on the outside. You're okay, I'll give this person a chance, but they're a creep or something like that. I don't know. I don't trust it. That's all I'll say. I feel like this merchant right here, this guy, this person, probably a Sagittarius, but could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. Much better, much more successful, much more hardworking. And there's something about looks here as well. It's this person, maybe they look successful, but they spend all their money on looking successful. This person might not look successful, but they actually are very successful. So, there's some sort of thing about needing to trust this right here, the haughtiness. It's someone could just be a show off, but the other person doesn't need to show off, So, that's what I get there. But there you go. Thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.